Hey.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. So John Mayer is probably the smartest marketing wizard that we've seen in quite a while in the guitar world.
I would say that's true.
And I don't know if it's all John Mayer's doing, but we're going to put this on John Mayer's shoulders because we think he's that cool. But no, the new Silver Sky just got announced. It was like last week, but it depends when you're watching this. So so let's just say it was announced
Recently.
Released, and sold the entire 1,000-piece run pretty much within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you were a shop lucky enough to get one, that was awesome. If you're a person lucky enough to get one or even see one, that's even more amazing.
Pretty cool.
So this was his new, he released a limited edition Silver Sky last year, the Nebula. And this was the Polar Ice.
Yes.
Lunar Ice.
Lunar Ice.
Sorry.
Not Polar Ice. Lunar Ice.
There was something about polar bears we were talking about earlier before.
Polar Express.
I think we were talking about that. Christmas is coming soon.
That's right.
In 350 days.
Whatever.
But no, so that released, and it was bam, it was immediate. Yep. And we were like, man, that guy's smart.
Yes.
And it's the way he did it, because the Nebula was 500 pieces.
Right.
This was 1,000 pieces.
Yep.
We'll probably have another one next year that's going to be maybe 2,000 pieces.
True.
That might be the max, I think, to capture that limited flair. But 1,000's not really that limited. That's a lot of.
That's a lot of guitars.
Right?
I think so.
So like this, and it got us thinking. Other guitar companies do this.
Yes.
But PRS is really successful with this.
They seem to have figured out how to release a limited edition and it sell immediately.
Yeah, I talked to my friends up at Chuck Levin's in Washington Music, and they had I think they had 10 pieces or something. It was sold within an hour.
Wow.
And that's God, that's funny if you think about it. It's $27,000 worth of guitars, and like just and they haven't seen Guitar One at the store yet. It was just announced. So theoretically, these guitars will be built and then shipped and then go off to the humans that bought them. But it's just impressive to see that throughput happen so quickly. Whereas Fender will have like limited edition pieces and FSRs or limited runs, and it doesn't have that immediate like I have to have it.
No.
So why do you think?
I think there's a couple of factors. I think one, Fender does a lot of it, so there is not this excitement. It's not an event. Do you know what I mean? Like when PRS does it, it feels like, oh God, it's NAMM. It's the PRS limited edition. It's also connected to John Mayer, which is a big deal. And John Mayer has a lot of fans who are diehard. They're gonna want something cool that's connected to John Mayer and PRS. PRS is because they're a smaller company. They sort of have these diehard fans that are different in the way I think Fender fans are.
Okay,
That's
a good point there. Yeah, it's
I think it's a different demographic.
Right, and yeah, I guess that is true. And like from what we were reading with, we read all John Mayer content. Like
Constantly.
That's all we do. Like we're in the bathroom, we're reading John Mayer content
everywhere.
What did John say?
John's on the wall staring at us. It's really
16 magazine.
It's very inspiring.
It's dreamy, but no, but he's really into sneakers and footwear, and like sneakers are notoriously awesome at doing these limited edition launches, and people pay outrageous amounts, and then the shoes go up in value. Which I was leading to, the guitars do that as well. Because the Nebulas, those things were selling for almost twice what, sometimes even higher. We saw some people asking like $8,000 for a Nebula last year right after NAMM.
Right.
This year, I've already talked to several people that are buying these guitars. They're immediately going to flip them. And I...
Smart, God
I'm not going to say one of your names. I'm super proud of you for doing it. I know. When you told me, I was like, man, that girl's got it down. That girl's got it on point. No, she's like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting a core piece. I'm like, so that's smart. They buy this thing,
smart,
right?
Actually.
I was like, man, that's
way to be thinking.
I want to say her name so bad. It's such a good name, but young lady, bravo. But no, that's what a lot of folks are doing out there, and I understand it. It's I don't like it when the shop does it, really.
That seems a little less ethical.
And I've seen that sometimes in the shops, like, hey, look, we know these are super overpriced, so we're gonna like jack it up more. And like, don't get me wrong, there's part of me that's like sort of sad that it's kind of like a ticket scalper. Like I'm gonna buy this ticket, like.
I feel like that's more okay if the shop like were to buy it and put it away. Like you can't sell it right now, but you buy it and you hold it for a few years, and then you're like, bam, here's this brand new, never used.
Well, this isn't like a low end. This is an expensive guitar, like a $2,700 guitar, so kids aren't buying this.
No.
This isn't like a kid trying to go see
That's true, too.
Slipknot.
That's a good point.
I don't know why Slipknot's the first band that came to mind. What band does a kid want to see? Is band from the 90s. That's weird.
Yeah,
from Iowa.
That's right.
Oh, I think it's Iowa.
It's the zipper mouths that do it. It's terrifying. Yeah.
It reminds me of Pulp Fiction. I can't wait to watch that with my son and explain to him like all this. This is how Daddy ended up the way he did. But no, it's so I don't mind people doing that as much. I think I applaud it because I think it's kind of a smart move. Yeah. And I hope if you are doing that, like this is a way to get your core maybe if you're doing that. And so John's been able to do that with he sees the footwear industry. And so what we were thinking too is like other companies should take note from John on this, and maybe like you pull back on the amount of limiteds you do, and because 1,000's not a small number.
No, like I said, it makes it more of a thing, a moment, an event. You
have a couple moments instead of a gazillion moments.
And I would maybe argue, and maybe this does point to the fact that some of this is just straight up John's brilliance, because he sort of did this from the beginning with his career.
Oh, what do you mean?
Hey, I'm a pop star. Oh, look at these wonderful songs. Your body's a wonderland. Run through the halls of my high school. Oh, no, I'm a badass blues guitar player. Because if he had put that out first, he'd be in that sea of great players that we love, but who don't become superstars or like household names. But suddenly household name, and then, oh, look, I've got a trio. It's an event. Like I can play guitar. I mean, it's...
And now he did like the folk Americana, and then he did... Then he does some like adult rock too, and then he's a Deadhead.
Right. Yeah. And now, oh look, I'm in the Grateful Dead. Amazing.
I'm still jealous about that. I just want to hang out with the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. They wouldn't let us play, but they let us hang out. Maybe.
I'll just tune your guitars or your congos there.
Recreate with them.
Yeah, that'd be fun to recreate with the Dead. You won't remember much.
Hopefully we'd survive.
But no, that's a really good point, Jonathan. You said much more intelligent things than I have today. That's smart. It's not.
It's rare.
No, it's usually common, but that's. No, he is sort of a chameleon within that, and he's a marketing master, I think, than a lot of people haven't really paid attention to it. I think Taylor Swift is also one of those, how she morphs in and out. In her double album release this year, those are some of my favorite records I've heard of hers in years.
Yeah, they're good.
But just watching how, she was just this pop thing, a lot of the diehard country people didn't like her, and then all of a sudden she's a respected indie person, when John Mayer was making fun of her for not liking indie music at that one point or something. I'm just basing this on her song, We're Never Getting Back Together, because those lyrics mean a lot to me. But I'm back to the guitar. So it's something I think that all these companies, because guitar companies are slow, they're dinosaurs.
Yes.
They're dinosaurs to change and movement. We've seen that with Gibson. We definitely see it with Martin a lot of times too. They're slower. Fender is very proactive and they're on top of it. They know, but they are almost too on top of it.
Sometimes
they had so many signature guitars last year come out at NAMM. I had to get a dictionary and get on Google.
These people in?
And I'm pretty.
No offense if you got a signature series.
No, this year there's a few too like that. I was I knew who they were, but I'm pretty active on trying to stay on top of who young artists are. Got it. Thing was flying in front of me. I was like the Karate Kid.
If only you'd had chopsticks.
But it was really slow as fur. Right. Some of my old dog's fur that was still her remains are here somewhere. But no, I think it's fascinating to watch what John has been able to do with PRS. And then it got us thinking even further. Here's the major drum roll. Get ready for it. Maybe John is the Andy Powers of Taylor to PRS. Maybe John.
He could be will
take the torch.
Guy.
And we all cheer that on tremendously.
How
and
cool would
fantastic. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, just have a guitar player like that. When all there was that hubbub and talk about maybe Joe Bonamassa taking over Gibson.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe's crazy, but who wouldn't want that to happen?
I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, Joe and John taking over some of the biggest guitar companies in the world. That would have been legit. So, John, if you're thinking about a next career, how about a small guitar company?
It's like we're talking crazy, alternate reality, fantasy universe now. But it could. I mean, it really, really could happen.
Well, because I remember when the Silver Sky launched, a lot of people were like, "Oh God, in no way." And then now, because it's a Strat, I don't want that. It's just, but it's become part of the market.
And Paul and John seem to really get on there. I would call them peas in a pod.
That's adorable. I wasn't sure what you were going to go with that. I'm like, what are you going to call them? Be careful.
Peas in a pod.
Yeah. So John, thumbs up. I'll give whoever works at PRS over there a thumbs up too for listening to John's brilliant direction. We're just kidding. We're sure there's a PRS marketing machine behind this.
Yes.
And that means there's a guy and a girl in an office because it's not this giant corporate monolith that people think of. I've been there. It's just dudes and some gals up in these offices and cubicles talking about guitars with guitars on their desks.
Yeah.
And we're taking pictures, and they say you can't take pictures of that. I'm like, okay, stop.
Don't do it.
Don't release that. We probably will by accident. But no, so congratulations on your awesome marketing mojo. And that's all I got to say.
I think that's it. If you have not done so, please click like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss videos in the future. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Thanks a bunch.